alert for season 4 of Only Murders in the Building. My sister and I watched the first episode and absolutely loved it. She's watched it 3 times, I've watched it twice. Something that I absolutely love this season is that each episode is going to be based off of a Hollywood film because, you know, we're headed to Hollywood. Tonight's episode featured elements from Once Upon a Time in the West, something that you notice from this scene where you don't really know who is who, but they all look very similar, much like these characters. Which brings me to who one of my first suspects is. And I'm not alone in thinking that it might be Eugene Levy. As we have all been wondering since last season, was the bullet that got Saz actually meant for Charles? And if you're a millennial like my sister and I, can't help but wonder if this rivalry from Cheaper by the Dozen 2 is actually going to be referenced again. Now, there are those who think it could be Bev Mellon. The thing that stood out the most to me about Bev Mellon was her name, since they all were talking about how there are fruits. You know, they even talked about Gilbert Grape and what's eating him. That made me think of Liz Lemon, who also has been seen as Cinda Canning. We all know that Tina Fey and Molly Shannon were on SNL. With there being so many Hollywood references, I couldn't help but wonder if the look that Meryl Streep had was somewhat of a reference to her Death Becomes Her look. It's not exactly the same, but the way the hair is styled, I couldn't help if it was like kind of like a loose reference. I don't know if this is a clue or more of a reference. When you watch Once Upon a Time in the West, there's this like fly scene. Marshall P. Pope says that he wants to be a fly on the wall, and I can't help but wonder, is she the pew-pew that the fly gets caught in? I definitely will be watching this film, this one, and this one to better understand the episode. I'm surprised Hulu doesn't have these available. Much like their film is supposed to be done by Paramount, that's where you can find this film.